shucks, welcome back. Listen, today you guys are gonna meet my coach, who is also what I like to call my BFF, but also my mental health coach and also my life coach. I love bodybuilding coaches who commit to their athletes because they are more than just a coach that gives you your workouts and your nutrition. At least Justin is. He is fully committed. There's a lot of banter. He's the exact opposite personality than me, which is something I absolutely love about him, but I get to make him laugh sometimes. So let's check it out. And we're gonna find out a little bit more about what he thinks about my journey from start to now. So let's go. Did you do legs? I don't got time for that.
What's up, my man?
Oh, you don't look like a scrub today.
Oh, crap. I'm gonna make you look like a scrub, though.
Y'all, this is Justin. Complete opposite than me, but
In a good way.
In a very good way. In a very good way. And we only have an hour today, so
Okay,
you're gonna have to make me work.
let's go.
Are you guys ready to see how he pushes me like I push you? Let's go.
Perfect. Good job, brother. That won't go right.
Don't you know I'm almost 47 years old. You got me getting on the ground.
Aren't you Mr. Insanity? Or
I am Mr. Insanity. And I can still out insanity anyone.
Exactly. Getting on the ground and doing push-ups that should be no biggie.
I definitely don't want to do that.
Nah.
I don't put them in any workout, any live workout. I'm like, nothing. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
I would never put a burpee in a workout either because I ain't doing it. And I told you before, I'll never
Maybe
make
the next workout I create that you're in, I'll put them in
No,
just
you won't.
because
I
you don't
won't
want to do it.
I will refuse to do it.
Because I got in bed earlier, I slept longer, and I was hungrier.
100%.
Whereas like when I go to bed like late, I'm not hungry when I wake up. I just still feel like, like I'm just not fully digested.
Well, because you're probably never really hitting that REM sleep either. And so that's when your body's recovering. That's when you're actually building your muscle. So you waking up hungry, that's exactly what we're even with the total calories that you're eating.
And I never eat 2 meals before I come. I've already eaten 2.
Perfect. Even better. Good job. Good job. Go a little bit wider with your hands on this one too. 2.
Now it's time to get big. This is the big boy weight. How much have I lifted on here? What's the most?
I think we've had 3 1/4.
Not bad.
I did 4 yesterday.
We're not competitive around here.
Not at all.
He actually doesn't compete against me, which is
I don't.
I knew
But
that.
I tell him all the time, I'm not gonna make him do something I won't do either. So
I will say something that you guys will never see, but he sent me some photos yesterday.
yeah.
Because he's always like, when athletes allude to the fact that he doesn't understand what they're going through, he's like, everything that I tell someone to do, I put myself through. And he sent me some pictures yesterday, and I must say,
1,000. 1,000. Come on. 1,000. One more. Let's go. Good job.
oh, that sucked. Oh.
I want that shirt.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you all. When you do insanity or dig deeper at any of my workouts, and you're like, I hate Shaun too, I train the same way. So if you ever wonder how I know what to say when you're feeling a certain way, it's because just like I just told you, he would never have someone do something that he didn't do. Same with me. Like, if I'm gonna have you push yourself, I'm gonna make sure I push myself too. I truly believe in leading by example. Not that I like it, I can't say that I necessarily enjoy it in the moment, but you know.
Ask him if I care.
He never cares about anything except for your mental well-being and that you're not injured.
Absolutely.
Complaints go, like MC Light said, in one ear and right out the other.
Amen.
But you know, he's from Pittsburgh. I'm from Jersey. So we got that East Coast understanding of,
Yes, sir.
you know, like I always say, excuses are tools of incompetence.
I like that.
All right.
Is that a t-shirt?
I know. Oh, but here's the thing. I fought him on using grips
Yeah, tell me who was right.
and straps for the longest time. I was like, I don't need those, I don't need those, I don't need those. And then I folded.
And also tell the camera how he doubted me on building this chest. What?
Yeah, like a year and a half ago, I was like, there's no way. I mean, I had a good chest, like I had a good physique. But I was like, there's no way you're gonna like make my chest like pop out. And he was like, yes, I am. He's like, watch. And then like 6 months later, he's like, I told you so.
I told you so.
I feel like I'm just so big. This is like the biggest I've ever been. Jeez. I wasn't this heavy last year, huh? I didn't get to this weight. Dang, man.
Max you got was 242.
For like what, 3 days?
Yeah.
Then I shot back down. This is big.
245 plus has been sticking for what, 2 weeks now?
I got 3 weeks to go. But it's crazy though. Like, I like really like it. You know,
Weight?
you know how last year I hated being up this big, and this year I love it.
Every time you go through a prep, every time you go through a build, it's gonna be different. You're gonna find things that you don't like, you're gonna find things that you do like. And like I told you last year, as you go through another build, you're gonna enjoy that just as much as being strong.
You mean, oh, you said you were out about this year?
Yeah, because I know last year you were a little nervous about putting weight back on and stuff, but now that you've been through the process a couple times, people look forward to that build time too. Seeing how their strength goes up, seeing the muscle that they put on.
Yeah, I think it was more like I never had the fear of losing like the prep and cutting.
Yeah.
It's just like I had to mentally
It's an
get
image.
over
It's an
the
image.
imagery
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
that. I mean, there's some abs left.
That ain't no gut.
You see a little bit. This is the point where I start to fatigue.
Okay, we got 15 on the next one. I'm gonna lighten it up.
Why you smiling at me, Robert? You see me getting tired? When I get quiet, that's when you know I'm tired. But I'm just conserving my energy, that's all. I accidentally did the wrong exercise because I was trying to be cute. So now I gotta do an extra set. the show's over. All right, so you guys have already seen him train me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to get a little bit inside the mind of my coach, you know, just trying to talk about where I am, how we're going to move forward. But I first want to start with this question.
Okay.
When I first came to you and I was like, I want to compete. And I know you saw me in the gym, you know what I'm saying, working out with Kristen. Were you like, oh yeah, like this is cool? Or were you like, why? Or like, you know what I mean? Because you know I was an insanity guy. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, I know obviously you had, you know, the background of fitness and the foundation for everything. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I told you this, like I put pressure on myself because of who you were. You know, oh my gosh, I'm coaching Shaun T now. Like I need to make sure everything is done over expectation, right? But then I also told you this after seeing your physique, and you know, you talked about this a little bit in the workout video. Just with your years of insanity and T25, hip hop abs, the front was definitely there as far as the foundation, your chest, obviously your abs, small waist, arms, shoulders. But our first day when we trained, I think it was the very first back day we ever did. I looked at you from behind doing pull downs. I was like, man, this dude has no lats at all. I was like, what are we gonna do here? So we got to work on your back, but you know, it's also a benefit from the years of the style of training that you were doing.
Yeah.
And why your body is responding so well right now, because we're training totally different, isolating muscle groups, not doing as many compound movements, obviously not as much HIIT, but really focusing on the isolation of the muscle.
I think that was the biggest thing for me in this, like switching from more of like being, you know, peak physical condition fitness to bodybuilding. You know, you have this misconception. I think a lot of people have this misconception that I just want to lift heavy and get big. And that's really great for a lot of people. I'm like, if you want to get big, you want cool. But the thing I absolutely love about this is it's more about like the symmetry of your body and
For
like
sure.
not having one muscle group overpower another.
Absolutely.
Which obviously that's why we do back 1,000 times a week. I mean, my back is coming in. But I think that was like, you know, obviously I bring up Kristen a lot because she started really healing my shoulders. And, you know, it took her like, I would say like 6 months to really get me to a point where I could really push with my shoulders and chest. And then, so we didn't get a chance to work on back as much, but I do remember doing pull-ups for the first time. And I was like, man, I needed the assistant. You know, I was like, I wouldn't say I was embarrassed, but I was just like, man, I can't even do a pull-up. Like I couldn't even do like 10 pull-ups without having assistance. But it was just the part of like, okay, like this is good. We have to work on this, bring this up. Let's not overdo your legs or overdo your shoulders. Let's work on things that's going to help you look good all 360 degrees around.
For sure. And that's where bodybuilding is truly an art form. Because, yeah, I mean, every guy wants to get jacked arms. I mean, you already do, but tell them how many times we've trained arms since I've been coaching.
Yeah.
0.
I've never trained arms with you, ever.
And you never will.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you get enough of that secondary and tertiary through other movements. But that's where you have to, as a coach, I have to understand each division and the guidelines and what they're looking for, and understand, you know, like I said, with, you know, Mr. Tyler Mannion, as far as what he's looking for as the head men's judge, and giving feedback to not just yourself, but to other athletes, and study that so that I know, all right, we need to build your chest more. We need to add more fullness there. We need to add more density to your back. We need to make your back wider, at the same time as not letting your arms get any bigger than what they are.
I'll ask you this question first. What is the hardest part about coaching in general? Like, obviously you coach women, men, all different divisions, like height classes. What is universally one of the biggest struggles for as a coach?
Well, everybody has different personalities. Yes, like I just said, you want to understand each division, understand the criteria, understand the posing, but not just coaching that division in this sport, but coach the actual athlete. And so when you understand the athlete, it just makes it better. So that's probably the toughest thing.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's what, of the many things that I love about you, I think that's the one thing. Like, you obviously you have an expectation of like how hard we work with our food and the training, recovery, like all that stuff. But you really do treat everybody different.
yeah.
You're like a chameleon, but you also keep your personality.
Yeah.
But with that said, I've always wanted to ask, we're going into our third season, and you can be honest, which I know you're going to be honest, because hello, you always are honest with me. What is the toughest part about coaching me? And if it's nothing, that's fine too, but I just want to know.
Your years of fitness, your years of being a track athlete, you know how to push your boundaries. So that's not an issue at all. You know how to get uncomfortable. You're going to get uncomfortable when it comes to a build. You're going to get uncomfortable when it comes time to being prep and being in a caloric deficit. You know how to push yourself in a caloric deficit. So it's still teaching you the actual sport, which I love, and understanding that this sport is not track. It's not the fastest person wins that race. Sometimes in this sport, there's other aspects that go into it that are kind of out of our control.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we control our controllables and we show up on stage with confidence and knowing that we're bringing our best. You know, sometimes it might not be the best that day. And so as long as you're continuing to improve your physique, which I think now that you're understanding that, it's not a loss.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's certain things that you might look at as losses and failures because of all the years in different sports. I play baseball. You can control how many runs, you can control that. In basketball, you control putting the ball in the hoop. There's certain things in this that you can't. And so I think that was one of the obstacles that we had to get over in the beginning.
So used to being able to cross the finish
For
line
sure.
first. And if I don't, I know that's why I don't win.
I had to learn it as a coach too, because I was the same way.
And you were a
Extremely
swimmer.
competitive. I was a swimmer. If I'm the fastest, I'm the winner.
Yeah.
And you can control that. That's something I had to learn too.
I mean, it was actually the hardest time I had with that was my first national show.
Yes.
For like, I get over things pretty quickly, but I was just like, man. But we went back in and we pushed and we did a lot better and we got the pro card.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that's like, most people probably find this to be stressful, but it's motivating for me is like, you have, like for you and me, we work so good together, at least in my opinion, that like, I want to win for you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's, I don't know how other people do it. I don't know if they have a coach and they're just like, okay, this person's coaching me, I want to win. But I feel like we're so close. And obviously I know a bunch of your other athletes that you're, super tight with. And there are a lot of us that's like, well, I want to win, but I want to win for coach too. And I think that's, when we lose, you also feel it,
Yeah.
And so it's really great. So obviously we're talking about bodybuilding, but you also train people and coach people that aren't getting on the stage with like either they have diabetes or maybe they have some other physical, not disabilities as far as movement, but just other things that they're going, weight loss, weight gain. So if they're not an athlete, is there one or two or three tips that you can tell people out there that they're not interested in bodybuilding, but is this something that they can take from this sport that they can apply to their everyday fitness journey that would help them push them along?
Yes. So on the training aspect of that, I think the main thing you want to do for everything else to fall in line is focus on building muscle. And so, I mean, and I'm not, for you ladies, I'm not saying build muscle where you're going to, bulk up and get too big, because one, that's not going to happen. That's a myth. But building actual muscle tissue And what back in the day was considered toning, when you have that muscle tissue, you're going to control your metabolism. So the more you have control of your metabolism, the faster that's working. One, the more you're going to be able to fuel your body with efficient micro and macronutrients, so that you're going to improve your daily health, your quality of living. That's all the foundation. That's muscle. Muscle is the fountain of youth.
Yes.
So that's one. Nutrition wise, I know we talk about this all the time. Don't drink your calories.
Yeah,
That's
a
the
rule
number
we
one
share.
thing.
Don't drink
Yeah.
your calories if you don't
So,
have to.
From the most basic stuff, if you're not ready to make the change on, throwing some of the food out, number one, to start in that direction, just get rid of all the caloric drinks. Sodas, switch to diet soda. Gatorade, switch to Gatorade Zero. There's so many different options out there that are going to be the same without the calories in it and the sugars and all the junk in it.
Or drink water,
And drink water.
because water works too.
Water works too.
With that said, you'll definitely see Justin again. But next week, make sure you tune in, because when I put in my my check-ins for this week, hopefully he ups my calories. And next week, I'm literally going to plate all the food
At once.
that I eat in one day, so you can see the amount of food that goes in my body. Because I think guys specifically, when they see bodybuilders, they only think like, oh, you only get those muscles because like you take steroids or something, and they don't understand that the work in the gym and the actual food you put in your body and the hard work and the recovery and all of that stuff is the thing that really helps shape your body.
For
So
sure.
I just want to put that out there. So next week is going to be a really good learning lesson. Hopefully I can get on the table with Kristen so they can see some of the recovery I do.
There
And
you go.
so stick around, and I'll see you next time.